Good evening, everybody, and welcome to WCFL DolFans Talk. I hope everyone's here to have a good time and see what we have to say. We're just going to get right started and start bringing on all our co-hosts. Y'all have any questions, just throw them in the comments. We appreciate each and every one of y'all, joining us. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Meantime, let's go ahead and bring them on. Mr. Winters, how you doing, my brother?
Good evening, my brother Paul. What's going on? And hello, everybody that's watching us. What's going on?
It is what it is. I'm getting all kinds of stuff for my truck and trying to get it fixed up. And about a month from now, I'm looking at getting the paint job done on it. So we'll see.
Nice.
Let's bring on Miss Pamela.
Hi, everybody, and much love. Fins up.
Much love to
Peace,
you,
love,
sister.
and fins up.
Peace, love, and fins up is right. Let's bring on the middle-aged man, Mr. John O'Hanlon.
What's up, boy? How are you?
Kid.
I am tired as a wore-out puppy. My body's not used to what I've been doing, especially yesterday. I'm putting I'm making a deck walkway out the front of my house. I'm pulling up all the stone walkway, making a deck walkway. And they're getting up and down on my hands and knees. It's got my legs sore as can be. Let's go ahead and bring on Mr. Tom O'Gara.
Yo, Tom.
What's up, Tom?
How are you, man?
Hi, buddy.
How's the campfire man?
Campfire Tom.
Just tired, hanging in there though. How's everybody?
Oh, you sound tired.
You do sound tired, Tom. Let's bring on our special guest, Miss Denise.
Yay, Miss
Hi, Denise.
What's up, Miss Denise?
Hey.
Yeah.
Where did you go ahead on this right now? I got to grab a drink. I forgot to get one.
Have your drink, man. That one's for me too. Shoot. So hello, Miss Denise. Welcome to our program this evening. I'm happy that you decided to come and join us this evening. And to my understanding, you went to every Dolphin game this season, correct?
21.
Wow.
Football this weekend.
All right.
Wow.
So we like to ask all of our Dolphin fans, when did you become a Dolphin fan? Your history with the Dolphins. I like to let people sit there and tell people about their fandom, about our team.
Well, I began with the Dolphins as a teenager. I am a native of West Palm Beach, Florida, which is an hour north of Miami. And of course, it was about that team. It was all about Dan Marino and Larry Little and all those guys and, the undefeated team. So I got on board and I really committed to the Dolphins when I graduated from high school. I was like, wow, what am I going to do? I don't want to go to college. So I was going to answer the call of duty and go serve my country. So while packing, there was two things that I took with me that mean a lifetime, a commitment. And that was my Bible. You know how mama is. Don't take your Bible. And I took my Dolphins because I want to represent South Florida. Miami meant South Florida. So that I became that Dolphin, and from that time on, it was Dolphins. Every opportunity, I was going to wear my Dolphin gear, a T-shirt back then. That was about it, and that was it. So, Miss Dolphin.
Nice. Very nice.
Give a shout out to John Featherland joining us, Mr. Polk, and Taco.
Mr. Polk, John, Taco. Hey, guys.
Yes. Shout out to Taco, definitely.
Well, thank you for your service, Miss Denise.
Yes, thank you for your service. Yo, my cousin Michael Winters is on. What's up, Michael Winters?
Hey, Michael.
Hey, what's up, Michael? How you doing, brother? Well,
So you have watched this team, like I said, and you've seen from the preseason, regular season, and the and also the playoff game in Kansas City. So, how do you feel about your journey this year of the 2023 Miami Dolphins? And you know, we've all had our different opinions on this season and different things like that. How did you feel this season played out, and where do you think we can go from there?
Blessed to have been to take this year. Was a wonderful year from start to finish. No, the finish, not the finish that we, but finish. We did. I was very, very not happy. We didn't win that Buffalo game, that final game, because it's like, hey, we're against the wall. Come on, y'all gonna do it. And they let me down.
Yeah.
But even with that heartbreak, that's still my team, and I'm still proud of them. And after that game, and it was like, okay, the season's over. I don't have to go to Kansas City. But I said that to my daughter. She said, "You might be sorry." And so I kind of like, I said I was going to go every game, let me go. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Going to Kansas City, my God, I that was blistering emotionally and conditions, the weather conditions. That was a killer. So, thinking, hey, we win here. Where do we go? And I was kind of like done at that. When I saw the sloppy play and the conditions, and I didn't even want our guys. I didn't care that they didn't go any further. I wanted to protect all of those guys. Every player on that team could be my grandchild. I didn't want them out there in that weather because I was praying that I didn't have to have my hand amputated. That's how nasty it was because I didn't care for it. I went to Germany and it was 55. Like I did that and it's like, okay, it was cold, but I didn't know it was going to be double cold. I mean, Germany and Kansas City, that was treacherous. So at that point, it was, let my babies go home. I didn't care. It was like, it was a good enough season. I'm okay with it. I'm happy. I love my team. I love our players. I don't want any danger, any harm, hurt, or danger to come upon them. Take it, Kansas City. Bye. We did our own self in. I'm done. And Kansas City are with me. So we came home to our warm. And
shout out to Charles Kirby joining us on Facebook.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, it was a good year, but I think the coach really he needs an offensive coordinator to call the plays, not him.
I agree.
I mean, I'm happy we made it to the playoffs 2 years in a row, and hopefully we can improve on that next year.
Yeah.
But with all these changes, there's a lot of work that's going to be done.
Another thing that's in my heart, and I'll tell y'all now, Las Vegas is a fun place to be and a good Super Bowl, but give us Super Bowl in NOLA, New Orleans. That's where we're gonna be next year. And that's my prayer, my hope, and I know my team's gonna do it for me. So we've had those two, trials. So New Orleans, here we come. Dolphins and somebody. Dolphins win Super Bowl.
They showed the previews of the colors, and the colors are aqua. So I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yes.
100% Dolphin winner.
It's just crazy, crazy. I don't like conspiracy things, but I will say this: the colors are aqua and orange, and it's in the numeral letters, the numeral numbers, or the Roman numbers. Excuse me, for the Super Bowl for next year.
Yes.
So,
We got to wait our turn, in other words.
Oh,
we shall see.
We ready to turn it out in New Orleans. That's the way it's gonna be. So, I don't want to look back. I'm looking forward to New Orleans and our Super Bowl win.
Well, I'm like this. We still got a game in about a week and a half to be played, and we can start talking about that a little bit. Since we have
Oh, gosh.
talk about football. I know, Pam. I know you don't want to talk about it, but this is reality. This is the facts. To beat a man, you got to beat the man, and the man is still there. And the champs are putting their titles on the line against the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm going to sit there and start it off. I'm picking Kansas City because you can only disrespect somebody so much for so long and sit there and have them even underdogs against us. When we went up to Kansas City, they had us favored to win that game somewhat. Then they had Buffalo favored to win that game. Then they had Baltimore that be favored that win. And I'm sitting there thinking they are still the undefeated. I mean, not undefeated, but they are still the defending Super Bowl champions. And they took that in heart. They took that in the heart. So,
they earned their losses. They earned their losses. They didn't earn quite a few wins they had. I mean, I watched all the other games. So did y'all. I mean, when I see crap, I'm going to call crap. And I saw a lot of crap. You did too. We all saw it. Kansas City does not belong there. They're not the best team in the NFL. It didn't happen like that. I don't think the best teams are in the Super Bowl. Not even close. Not even close. San Francisco came unglued a lot. I mean, hey, Raphael. So, I mean, we all saw the crap. I mean, listen, it's been bad this season. Particularly, it's been bad. And if I see it, I'm going to call it crap. And that's what it is.
Real quick, I want to say for those of you out there who know about it, who are participating, DCC's less than a month away. And if you don't know it, you haven't heard it, for everyone who's participating at DCC in Miami, there is a concert afterwards too. Yes, a concert, John. Did you hear that? It's Shaka Khan.
Oh, Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. Love that girl.
And it's not gonna be set up like it was in the past. We're actually gonna be down on the track and everything. We're gonna be around the stadium. We're going to be using the track where the car is all set up and everything for the racetrack and everything. That's where a lot of it's going to be. They're supposed to have more air-conditioned spots for everybody, better food than they had last year, they said, and stuff. So we'll see. I mean, last year they had a lot of good food there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was incredible. I mean, if you've done a 5K, this is 10 times better than any 5K you've been to. Because most of your 5Ks, you get a banana and a granola bar or something at the end of the 5K in your medal. Well, DCC, you get your medal. You want a mixed drink, you can have a mixed drink or beers, sodas, and they give you full meals there.
Well, in the heavy hitter tent they do, yeah.
No, all over. They did it outside too. Yeah. We had a full meal. And you had a couple different places to choose from. One of them ran out of food pretty quickly, but they're supposed to even have more food this year than last year and stuff. But even after all that, they're supposed to have the concert with Shaka Khan.
Wow.
How do you get to enter the concert? I won't even be in the country during that time, but I did participate, and I did, raise funds, all of that. With, the 954 team.
Yeah, there's links. You can look it up on online for DCC or Dolphins Challenge Cancer, and it will take you straight to the link, and you can join anybody's team if you're, I know you said you're not going to be in the country, but you can join anybody's team that you want or know people are, and it's basically it costs you around $50 to register, but then they require you for just the 5K, they require you to raise $250. But if you raise $3,000, you get an armband for the heavy hitters tent, which is where all your athletes hang out at and stuff.
Wow.
I just did the 250. That's all with my team.
So that's you. If you raise 250, if you registered and everything, but it's going to be at Miami February 24th this year. I don't, next year we won't know until it's around July, I think, John, when it comes out.
Yeah, it'll be right around the same weekend.
Yeah, it's right around the same weekend. It's like the third or fourth weekend of February, depending on when the weekend falls and stuff.
That's cool.
But it's a good time. I mean, you meet a lot of players and alumni players. A lot of alumni players participated in stuff. That's where I met Zach Thomas last year, which was great. I mean, that was like a lifelong dream to me. And thank you to John for taking pictures, because I didn't even pull my phone out. I was too busy just talking with him. But he's just a very interesting and great guy to talk with. I mean, he's just a normal, down-to-earth guy to talk with. And he actually brought it up when I told him where I live. He goes, "Well, you live in the sticks. I know where I was up there hog hunting with Manny Fernandez." So, Tom, I want to hear. We missed you last week, Tom. So I want to hear some of your thoughts and opinions on what's been going on lately.
With what? Just the team or the league or
the team, the league, and the coaches we've gotten rid of and stuff.
I mean, the team. We need to work on the trenches. I mean, it's pretty simple. Trenches and linebackers. For the draft, I'd love to get Jeremiah Trotter Jr. We need a thumper. We haven't had one since Zach. O-line, we're looking at the kid from Washington, Fayuga, or Johnson, Jackson Powers Johnson, JPJ, whatever, from Oregon, the center. Both those guys are studs right now. If we don't have Wilkins coming back, let's just hypothetically say at this point, the D tackle from Illinois looks really good. My only concern is that all these guys are going to start getting the microscope and spotlight on them, so they're going to move up a little bit. We might end up not being able to get one of them possibly. I don't know.
I don't know if you saw it. I saw a little article, and I can't remember it really because I didn't read the whole thing. For one, it was because when I started reading it, I was like, no. There was talk about Jalen Waddle and Javon Holland trading them for picks and stuff.
I saw that too. I don't think that would happen, especially not Holland at least. Waddle, they might dangle the carrot out there and see what happens, but I also really can't see that either at this point. You have too many other holes. I mean, you're going to add another huge hole to it. It's already hard enough with double coverage over top on Tyreek by himself when Waddle's not playing. When Waddle's playing, there's still two guys over top. But I do think that they're going to focus on switching the roles. They might put Tyreek in the slot next season and keep Waddle out wide, so he's the A guy, so that Tyreek might be able to just slip under. He's still going to get his volume, but if they can focus on Waddle getting these long passes and these hot routes and shit that Tyreek's doing, you might change defense's outlook on the team and might help yourselves a little bit, especially if you can run the ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah, my personal opinion, I think we really need to work on our O-line to get some big dogs in there. And I mean dogs.
I mean, look at every team in the league right now that's still left, or even the teams that just got knocked. They have good trenches.
Well, there's he won't be up for a few years, but I seen this video of a high schooler, 320-pound O-lineman in high school.
Holy shit.
And he's running the 100-yard dash in high school too. And being in the top 2 or 3 of the runners in the 100-yard dash when there's 6 and 7 runners out there.
I just hope he keeps his head into it, and as soon as you get to college, it's not all about the money anymore. So that's good and bad for college. I mean, it's honestly ruining potential, essentially.
Well, it's ruining some, but these college kids are going the full 4 years instead of leaving early and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's good and bad. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Are that you're giving a 17, 18-year-old kid a couple $1 million and hoping that nothing goes wrong. I mean, it doesn't always have to go wrong, but you're going to get guys that are more worried about going out and making an image and a brand for themselves sometimes and actually taking an extra practice or extra video session or extra whatever to study. So you're like losing a little bit on both sides. And it opens the door to a lot of bullshit, a lot of legal stuff that you've been seeing with a lot of these kids. But I mean, if he keeps his head into it, I mean, of course, these prospects coming up are filthy.
Yeah,
the kids just keep getting better and better and better. Like, look at the things we're seeing, like Trout 10 years ago, Tani now. You're going to have more kids trying to do both things. You're going to have a lot of different stuff coming out. You're going to see ambidextrous quarterbacks coming in so they can have different situationals. Like, just a lot of stuff we'll see as, things continue to evolve.
Well, you got to put Kyler Murray in that conversation too, because he had a chance to play baseball and football at the same time, and he decided to take football over baseball.
Either way, I think he's too short.
Mr. Polk, I agree with you that we do need to utilize our tight ends for more than just blocking.
Yeah, we definitely. I mean, that's another thing. Look at all these teams; they all have a solid tight end. Their jumbo sets are crazy. Look at Detroit; they had 7 linemen and then Laporta. It's like, what the hell?
What did they say? One of the sportscasters over the weekend that was announcing the game said all of the teams that were left in the playoffs this weekend had great tight end play. Every single one of them.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, and the rest of what Mr. Polk said, it's not just the tight ends, it's the other wide receivers. And I'm going to add in the fullback. You have these talents and you're not using them. Honest to goodness, I don't think there's any reason that we lost several games that we lost. I put it squarely on play calling. I don't know what you're thinking when you don't spread the ball around to these talents that we have. I mean, you go and you get Claypool and you barely use him. Now, I was ticked about the drop in the end zone, but for goodness sakes, the guy's huge. Throw the ball to him. Throw the ball to Smythe. We have a tight end that is he is the highest percentage receiver on our team. Whether you realize it or not, Smythe has the highest percentage. He didn't get that many chances, but his percentage is better than anybody else's.
His targets to catches, yeah. I mean,
well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
If he's up there, why are you not giving him the ball more? I don't get it.
I want to welcome Mr. Polk. What's going on, Mr. Polk?
Hey, Mr. Polk.
Hey, how's it going, Papa Paul? Dolphin winners, my sister Pamela, John Hannah, Miss Nisi I'm glad to see you up here. Tom and John Felton.
My
Hey,
What's
man,
up,
John.
John? How are you?
How you doing?
what's going
Okay.
on?
Doing great, doing great.
Nothing much. Just checking out. I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, it's good to have
Um,
you on. It's all good.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
who's got opinions on the defensive coordinators we've been interviewing and have coming up for interviews?
Let's start with
Well, I
John.
mean,
Let's start with John O'Hara on that.
we've interviewed what, 4 or 5. There's 2 or 3 more to go. It's, I think McDaniel's going to have a lot to do with this one. You know, he wants somebody that maybe like-minded or, you know. So I just think they're going to go through the process. They're going to interview a bunch of guys. I'm sure he's got all of them, Greer, Ross, McDaniel. They all have questions they want to ask. What do you see? What are your plans? So it's, you know me, I'm the wait and see guy. See what they
I
do, and
Well,
I
John,
know.
let me ask you, since that's your take, what do you think about Fangio and the job he did?
well, Fangio, listen, it started rough, and everybody was saying, once they get used to the system, and they got used to the system, and the defense played great. I think Fangio just used this as a stop. He wanted the Philly job. He said, let me go show him what I can do. I'll go somewhere else. I implement my system. And then he left and Philly hired him.
Well,
Yeah, from what I understand, he's always wanted Philly.
Yeah, he
and
did.
I even read
from
an
what I-
article that if the one coach would have not said he was staying like he did, he would have never took the Miami job.
Yep.
Right.
And
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon.
well, no. What happened was this, Paul. What happened was this. So what happened was when the defensive coordinator job was taken by the Philadelphia Eagles last season, Fangio knew. He was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'll go to Miami, show you what to do in Miami, just like John O'Hara just said. And now, the job is open. So they already have relations when they went to the Super Bowl 2
Well,
years ago.
The defensive coordinator this past year was the same guy who was there last year. He was looking at leaving last year, but he decided he was going to stay. And then he ended up leaving. And someone else took the defensive coordinator position for this year because Fangio had already taken the Miami job. Because he said if he wouldn't have said that to begin with, that he was going to stay, and then Fangio would have had that defensive coordinator position last year up in Philadelphia for this past year. But so he did come down here to show him what he could do, and he wanted to be up there, apparently, from what he said and everything. The position came open again, and he took it.
Denise, what do you want to say, Denise?
I read an article that Miami really kind of didn't want it anymore, and they're using all of this other crap to not humiliate him. That Miami's gone.
It could be. I mean, listen, we're not privy to the conversations. We're not in the office. We don't get to hear what goes on. We don't know what kind of relationship Mike and Vic had. So who knows?
And another part of the story was also that Vic said a lot of these players were more interested in the Miami lifestyle than they were working.
Yeah. That's
I don't.
Okay, and I got a third thing that I
or they
heard.
did. Yeah, they didn't like Vic's way.
Okay,
Old
but
school way.
go ahead, Mr. Polk. What were you saying?
Okay, the thing I heard was that Fangio did not like the way that McDaniels was proceeding as far as calling plays and with the players. He's because he's been around for a while. He's seeing a scheme with Coach McDaniels that's not going to take us to where we need to go as far as the Super Bowl or further into the playoff. So with that being said, he's thinking that next year is going to be the same, and that's why he wanted to jump ship and head on over to Philadelphia.
Well,
Oh
all the
no,
possibilities are very possible or true. We don't know, like John said,
right.
we were
We don't
not
know.
Mhm.
privy to all the conversation.
Yeah.
Cause,
Yeah.
'cause I'm hearing three different things, including what I
Yeah.
just said and
Oh,
what
listen,
But
John
if
when
you
I
said. So
He's
if you
got
when
get
the
I
third
on enough,
most play. His mom's 95.
And
right.
next year, McDaniel's going to be on a hot seat if he doesn't
Yeah.
improve.
Oh yeah.
Well,
oh yeah,
And
for
if
sure.
McDaniel goes,
I'm
so
happy
does
for
Tua, because they're both linked. Okay.
what I'm saying is this, and I'll piggyback off of that. And that was great, Mr. Fenelon. I know as a fan, I give the coach 2 years head start. I'm gonna give him 2 years to get this system in place. The third year is a show me now. You got to show me now, because now this is the third year. Now it's a lot of question marks with that, and I like the fact that you brought that up, Mr. Fenelon, because we're not gonna have the same base of team back. There's a lot of question marks from now until the beginning of training camp. So it's gonna be a
Mhm.
lot of different pieces. So can this system work with a whole bunch of what ifs, and what if not? You know what I mean? So that's we have to, as fans, sit here and wait day by day, watch either ESPN or whatever, sports, whatever, and see what happens. Because I'll be honest with you, for me, the third year is you got to show me in your third season. We got you for
Yeah.
5, but the third season, yeah, it's time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at,
Cause
Mhm.
at
the
some
first.
point,
Mhm.
given these people all these opportunities, when I look at the team that we assembled this past season, we should have done it. And honestly, when I look at the part of our team that had the most effect of injuries, it was the defense, and it wasn't the defense that let down on the job. I mean,
Exactly.
it just wasn't. The defense kept us in these games. And when I look at what the offense did and didn't do, and the play calls, what we did and didn't do, I'm thinking, did you really learn your lesson from the season before, coach? Because I want to sit you down and go, dude, what are you doing? We should have been better. I mean, 11-6 was good, but we left so many points on the field, so many different games. And I don't know what they're doing and what the conversations are. I don't know, but they're not good enough. Whatever those conversations are, they're not good enough.
Pamela, what wasn't it last year when we went to the playoffs against the Bills again with Skyler? Didn't people say that if we only had Tua, we would win that game?
I
Yeah.
People said that, but I don't think that was our problem. I never thought that was our problem. What I think our problem was that we didn't stick with the run game. Because the run
You're
game, those
probably right.
last 2 games, the run
Exactly.
stopping the
You,
run was our problem. It wasn't Tua or not Tua. I mean,
but
but
McDaniel
yes,
doesn't
you're
really
right.
favor the
People
run.
said that.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
not
it's
what I thought the problem was.
not. Well, if you
Well,
notice it, I think we said it before on one of our previous shows that the defense got better as the year went on, and the offense became stagnant.
yep.
yeah, but I will say this about the offensive line. We can put the blame on the offense, but the offensive line to me has really stood up a little better than they progressed from last year to this year, and then you add Butch Berry on there with the injuries. He would
Yeah.
plug and play, put a play in there, and still we gave Tua time back there to throw a ball. And when I say that, I'm not putting the blame on Tua. No, I'm just saying
Hmm.
as long as we have Butch Berry, whoever we bring in as a free agent or maybe from the draft, I think Bushbury can develop them into being a good offensive line. But you got to remember one thing too: there's no such thing as a perfect offensive line. You're going to have some weakness in that line, regardless of what team you're talking about. But like I said, as long as we have Bushbury, to me, we have a chance for the offensive line to improve. But you have to also look at the whole roster because we got so much talent on this roster,
Yeah.
and I get tired of going through the roster and going back and look at films on these guys. And these guys got so much talent, but we're not utilizing them. We bring people in like Claypool. Don't utilize him. Chris Brooks, we're not utilizing him.
Didn't.
When
Yep.
that's part of the run the game right there. I know he got hurt. But still, when you have first, like you got Raheem Mustard, Chase Claypool. I mean, not Chase Claypool. We got A Chain. We have
Yeah.
Jeff what's his last
Wilson.
name? Wilson. Then you got Chris Brooks. I mean, right there
Ingold.
you have right and exactly, even though he's a fullback, but you have a combination of two rookies and two veteran players. That's why I'm gonna be straight. Instead of wasting, I'm not gonna say waste. Instead of going and trying to seek a top running back. If Derrick Henry wants to come here, if we can afford him, bring him in. But we got to start utilizing all these guys. I mean, rotate them so that we don't have these injuries. Because A-Chain, I think, was
Yeah.
playing hurt. Mustard was playing hurt. This was why you need to start rotating and utilizing these players.
Well,
And I mean, not just
and at the
offense,
same
but
time, there's a difference between playing hurt and playing injured. You know, when you're playing hurt, you're out there, you're fighting like a dog. When you're playing injured, you can call it a career ending if something happens next. You know,
Mr. Paul, I remember OJ was on here, and OJ said that same thing exactly what Paul said, because he said, and I think I can say this verbatim. He said, "I hope these guys are truly. If you're truly injured, that's understandable. But I hope you sat there, and I hope they not just like just not don't got that dog in them to go out there and play. And because he said, he said it himself in his day. If he didn't give a damn his leg, but he wanted to be out there. You know what I'm saying? But the time
and I think that's where it comes down to. At the same time, these days, players don't necessarily play for the love of the game and want to win. They play for the money. And so they're not giving it all. They're not going to go out there and play when they're hurt because they want to keep playing, and they're too afraid to get injured severely. You know, like OJ said, they would be out there if they were hurt. They still going to play. You know, and they didn't get the money near what they're getting these days.
Well, I just didn't see players. Yeah, I did. I can't say that. The last game against Kansas City, I can definitely see players that I thought didn't want to be out there and shouldn't have been out there. But for the most part, our team, I didn't really see that. I saw players that were in the game. They, wanted to win. I don't think our offensive line was the problem. I think that our quarterback didn't do very good, especially the last few games. He just didn't. I mean, he made some great plays at times, but there was just some stuff that I couldn't believe he did.
Yeah.
And I feel like
on a lot of that, I see the play calling because the plays that were called was just atrocious.
That's where I'm at.
When you're calling the play the same pitch and run 5 times in a row and it hasn't worked, why the hell are you still calling it?
Why are you doing it again? Let me pound myself in the head with a hammer. Oh, gee, that hurt. Well, I'm going to do it again. I honestly could not believe the play calling, and that is where my biggest, responsibility goes is on the coach. I'm just saying that's what I see.
Well, Tom.
Oh, sorry,
thank you for
Tom.
coming in, Tom. Sorry.
Peace, love, and Phins up,
he
buddy.
was tired. He worked a double today.
Poor guy.
He's
glad he came in.
I know, winners. I know you work doubles all the time.
I know how you those. Shit,
but as he said, he's usually arguing, in a case with something, but he had to his second shift because someone was out. He had to listen and write every single thing down at the same time. So
Even
yeah,
if it's stupid, sometimes you got to.
You have a good night, Tom. Peace, love, and fins up, brother. Yeah, I don't know where we're going to go this coming year.
Well, I don't mean to cut y'all, Paul, but I made this comment in the chat room. We cannot go with what we've been going with this season and part of last season, because these teams know when we play them, they already have us figured out. Because we keep using the same thing over and over again. You have to be able to change up. Got to be able to make adjustments. With each opponent that we play, we have to be able to make adjustments and changes. And there was times, and I hate to say, where it looked like McDaniels was like freaked out. It's like what he wanted to use didn't work, and it's like he didn't know what to do. And I'm not putting him down, but that's the impression I got a few times I've seen him on the sideline. You have to change up. Also, too, with the quarterback with Tua, you got to stop making Tua one dimensional. Tua needs to step up too.
Well,
Because
that's
he can't be.
that's where that's
Mr. Poole.
real quick. I want to go after what you said, Mr. Polk, but I want to say something with what Eric Winters had quoted here. But we've talked about this, that Tua needs more time on things and needs to be able to see things, but a lot of it's the play calling. We're not killing the season, Eric. We had a great season. We all believe we had a great season, really. 2 years in a row in the playoffs. We're happy with it. The quarterback survived. Our quarterback stayed healthy through the whole year, and no one could ever plan on losing so many players like we did to injuries. It was ridiculous. We got a lot. There's a possibility we could lose a ton of players this year with all that we have on free agency.
We got a lot of free agents.
24 free agents. There's no telling what's going to happen with that.
The team's going to be different.
The team can be very different unless Greer can really pull out a lot of magic with his contracts and stuff.
Right, because you got to look at. We have one of the worst caps in the NFL. I think we're ranked number 31.
Yeah, Eric. Yes, our coach is young, but he said last year that he was going to learn from his mistakes, and this year he basically made a lot of the same mistakes.
Yeah,
right. And Eric, I want to mention Eric also. One of the good things about being a Dolphin fan for so many years is that you celebrate the good, but when the team makes mistakes, we have to talk about them. It's not putting down the team where if we criticize Tua or Coach McDaniels or
it's called constructive criticism
on the defense. Exactly,
Absolutely.
John. It's called constructive criticism, and we have to do that. We can't always say, okay, the sun is always shining, the birds are singing all the time. That's not how it works. It don't work that way.
Thank you. I just want to shout out my little brother. Shout out my brother Eric Winters. Thank you, bro, for sitting there.
And Eric, I did send you the link in your email. If you didn't get it, I'm sorry.
Well, I just want to tell him what I said in the comments is I know our coach is young, but if I can see from my couch that you shouldn't call that play 47 times in a game, how come he can't? I mean, come on, dude. I don't want to hear the excuses. I've probably in my entire fandom, which is as long as anybody here and probably longer, never. I've been the
I keep
least.
telling you, you're not a day over 40, Pam.
Oh, now I'm up to 40? Really?
It's a new year.
It's a new year.
There you go. Now I'm 40. But I've been probably the least critical fan ever. I'm always the, rainbows and puppies and cupcakes, always with my team. But
You?
this past season, now they've gone and pissed me off now. They've pissed me off.
You ain't never lied on that.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, if he doesn't improve, he, this may be
Thank
his
you, Eric.
last year. He's on the hot seat. Okay, McDaniel's on the hot seat this year.
Not yet.
I
Not
don't
yet.
think so.
Not yet.
He's
You
not
can't
yet.
put a
He
vote-
ought to feel the heat.
You
He's
cannot
not on the hot seat,
He's
but
not
he
on-
ought to feel the heat.
You do not put a coach on a hot seat that took you to back-to-back playoff appearances.
Right.
You don't.
Right.
Oh, what
I
did he
agree.
do with it? I just
Well,
It-
no, it doesn't matter, Pam. The only
You
way he ends up on the hot seat is if
You got
You
coaches
totally-
in the league. You got coaches in the league that have been coaching for years and years and
Yep.
years and years, and they play off of. All right, for example, let's go right to it. Mike Tomlin has not had one losing season in his coaching 17-year tender. He's gone 8-8 numerous times. Has never had a losing season. One Super Bowl to show for it. Playoffs with two different quarterbacks. He has gone through it all. And that man's been in the league for 17 seasons. We just had a young coach take us to two back-to-back winning seasons with the first round exit, which we know we're not happy about. But you cannot just sit there and throw him out to the street like that, because he'll go somewhere else.
no. I just
No,
want to
and
slap
part
him
of-
around a little bit. I just
part
want
of
to
it-
slap him around a little
Yeah.
bit and bring him to reality.
I will say this: if we come into this year and we go through this year and we end up doing a total dump this year, then there's a possibility he could be looking at a hot seat. But
That's pathetic.
Well,
I know what you're saying,
yeah.
but I'm telling you guys, so we can look into the season. We can look into the schedule right now. We don't know the times. We don't know dates, but we do know the teams. So we do face an Indianapolis. We do face a Cleveland. We do face Seattle. We do face Arizona. We do face some teams that
49ers probably. I don't know.
they don't look scary on paper, but you don't know what type of moves they're going to make, just like how we're going to.
no, I know that. But what I'm saying is, by week 9 or 10,
You would know.
if we only
Yeah.
have 2 wins by week 9 or 10.
See that?
No, we should have more than that.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
I'm
I understand what
not
you're saying. Yeah, that's,
I'm not saying I see that.
I know what you're
Oh.
saying. I'll say that at January 31st of 2024, we will not be in no damn 2 win team on week 9 and 10. I'll keep my word.
And I'm
I hope
arguing,
not.
I'm
That's for
just
sure.
stating. I am
Yeah.
not,
Right.
I'm not saying we will.
He's
not
just
saying we
making it
will.
through.
Miss
I'm
Nietzsche
just
wanna say
making
something.
a statement that if we were 2 wins at week 9 or 10, then he might be on the hot seat then, is what I'm trying to state. I'm not saying we will be,
I can't say. Yeah.
because I don't see him being on the hot seat this year.
No, he's not.
No, not at all.
He's not.
He should
But then-
feel the heat, though. He
I'll
should
say-
feel the heat.
You should
Because
feel the-
Miss Nietzsche
the
wanna say
amount
something.
of talent we had on our team,
But you know what?
regardless of
I'm going to
injuries.
disagree with you on that,
Well,
because
okay.
I'm going to disagree because we had a tremendous amount of speed on the team.
Yep.
Speed isn't going to win the game. You got to have a combination of everything.
But that's in the play
But
calling.
That's in the play calling,
He
which
gave
he
it up
needs.
in the play calling.
He needs to correct that. We all said.
But I
he
thought
needs
he
to
learned
correct
that last year. I mean,
Well,
come on.
we all
I
thought
see
he
it from
did,
my
but
couch.
he didn't.
Miss Nietzsche been trying to say something.
He was scheduled. Everybody was thinking more past the first round or past the second round this year. Okay, that's what everybody's thinking, and he went below that because the last year he went to the playoffs, went to a He should have gone at least made one. If he would have won one playoff game, there would be no discussion.
Yep.
Right now.
Oh, I mean,
Well,
it's
we should never have lost to Buffalo. We should never
We should
have
never
lost to
lost to
Buffalo.
Tennessee.
We should have never lost to Tennessee either, though.
We
Yeah.
shouldn't have lost to
We were
Tennessee.
up
I
by
mean,
what, 13
It
and well,
happened.
14 with what 3 minutes left or whatever it was.
I
Okay,
gotta let this clock talk.
real
This clock
quick,
needs to
Eric, what happened with Vic is the fact that he never wanted to be down here. And like an article I read, you throw enough money at a man, he's going to come. And it's something that we've done in the past, even with Wayne Huizenga and some of the other coaches that didn't want to be here or didn't want to stay down here. They just kept throwing money on to them until they stayed or until they came. And it's quite obvious. I don't think our owners are ever going to learn from that. It hasn't worked in the past. It's not working now. So instead of throwing money at somebody, get somebody that really cares and wants to coach and who's a good coach who wants to be here.
Denise,
I agree with that.
This clock,
Yes,
this
I agree
clock
with
trying to talk.
let Denise talk. Y'all.
Wouldn't you think that is our coach now? I mean, I don't think that I threw a lot of money at him. I mean, I don't know his salary, but I think I like him because he's young, he's new. You know, the old coaches, and I heard that we were going to look at Belichick and this one and that one. Give me something new. Let's start with something.
Miss Denise, I wasn't talking on that about the money bid, throwing money at. I was talking about Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
He threw so much money at Vic Fangio, and in the past, other owners have thrown money at head coaches, not Mike McDaniels.
Yeah, a lot of people want Mike McDaniel from the beginning. I didn't even know him. But,
I know what you're thinking, Miss Pamela. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah. You could say it for me, right?
I can always say it for you.
Well,
he's not going anywhere.
he's not going anywhere this year, no, and he's probably not
No,
going anywhere next year.
No.
You know,
I don't think he should go anywhere. I think he's a brilliant guy, but sometimes the brilliance looks stupid because you outthink yourself. You don't, some of the things that are so stupid is clock management, taking so long to get the play in. Why? I mean, seriously, Pee Wee League people know how to get the play in. I don't understand what you are doing. So
he sometimes passes when he needs to run and runs when he needs to pass. And
Miss Pam, I agree with you 100% on that. The fact of the matter is, like I said earlier, we need an offensive coordinator to call the plays and the head coach just to be the head coach.
Yeah.
Or if you want to call the plays, you better have somebody else that's managing some other things. Like if that's what you want to do, there are head coaches that call the plays, but you better delegate a little better in some other situations. I don't know what's going on.
He does not have the experience yet to be doing both.
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that.
Right. And that's
even Don Shula didn't call the plays. He had someone else call it. Well, actually, Bob Greasy actually called his own plays, but and maybe Dan Marino. Dan Marino
did a lot of the time too.
He did sometimes too. Yeah.
Well, he did most of the time until what's his name came in, Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Jimmy Johnson point blank told him he wasn't going to be calling his own plays.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
So, I got to run, you guys. So it was so good to see you guys. You know I love you guys. And Nisi, it was nice to meet you, hon. I love your dolphin fandom. You show it. That's so beautiful. Love that. And I love you guys.
Good night, Miss Pamela. We love
I'll
you
have to
too.
tell
Peace, love, and
we're
fins
gonna have
up,
to
honey.
text each other, Pamela. Peace, love, and
Peace,
fins
love,
up.
and fins up.
Peace, love, and fins up, my fellers. And Miss Nisi. Good night.
Good night.
Uh-huh. Good night. Yeah.
I read an article today where it said that the next part of Coach Mike's progression was getting the tight end more involved. Whether that's true or not, we'll wait and see. Evidently there's an evolution to what he's doing. He's figuring things out. Hopefully he does. Hopefully they keep getting better and the offense can be. Listen, you don't have to put up 70, but you got to be productive every game. You can't have these get down to the end of the year. You're scoring 14, you're scoring 7, you're having trouble moving the ball.
I agree with you, John.
Yeah, because defense can keep you in the game only but so much. And then they start wearing down, they start getting tired, and they start getting disgusted.
And our defense really did a hell of a job. You know, they did everything they could to keep us in the game the last 4 or 5 games, and
Absolutely.
our offense just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah,
You know,
they have to compliment the defense.
especially the Buffalo game when you don't do anything at all the second half.
Oh, Kansas City game the same way.
Yeah, Kansas City game was the same way. We didn't do a damn thing.
It is what it is. We're still one of the top tier teams who, we know we can be there. We know we can make the playoffs. Now we got to prove we're good. We're good enough to beat the better teams, to get in the playoffs, to win a game, 2 games.
Yeah.
No.
That was another thing. We beat the teams that we should beat. But anytime we went to Baltimore or Buffalo or whoever it was
any of the really top teams we couldn't do except for Dallas.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It doesn't matter. We gotta improve. Go ahead, Miss Denise.
That state as not beating. I was never concerned about who we didn't beat. It was, the teams that it was the ones that we gave the games away to. That Titans game and that last Bills game. That was the rest of the loss.
I agree with you.
No problem.
Kansas City game too.
Yeah,
that was a giveaway.
Which one?
Yeah.
And
The last
both of them. Both of them, really.
Well, didn't we play Kansas City out the country?
In Germany.
Germany.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see that game, so I couldn't say.
I mean, we gave them both away to Kansas City, and
Actually,
that last
the one in
against
Germany
Buffalo,
was a pretty close game.
but we still gave it away.
Yeah, we still gave it away.
We scored nothing in the first half.
No, Miss Clark is trying to say something.
Horrible.
It's these games that we run out the first half kicking ass, and then we do totally nothing the second half. What is going on?
Miss Clark
Stop.
is trying to say something.
Go ahead, Denise.
I mean, it was 2 home games that lost, Titans and Bills.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rest of them, no worries. But home, we were on a roll, doing so good, and then we go throw 2 away.
And I really thought we were never going to lose a home game this year. I really did.
That was the prime to not lose a home game. We would have played at home in the play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if we went 8-1 at home, we still play a home playoff game. We win a Tennessee game, we wrap the division up. We win the Buffalo game, we wrap the division up.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Buffalo would have been out, I think, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They wouldn't have been in the playoffs.
no, they still would have been.
Am I not
They
wrong?
still would have been in the playoffs even if we beat them.
Oh.
It would have been a home playoff game though, like John said.
Back Buffalo games.
Yeah. I mean, we just got. And my honest opinion is, is that we need an offensive line that can give Tua a little bit more than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. I'm going to stick
But
with it.
through
I'm
it
not,
all,
I'm not even
it was
sure
a
he needs
great
3
season.
seconds. He just needs a clear.
We did a good job, and I think that we're going to be better next year, much better. And I looked at our opponents, and I see 2 losses already. That's it. Rest
Well,
of them,
it's
we're gonna win.
we have 24 free agents, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot on who we can keep.
That's right.
I mean, that's 24 free agents. What if we? I mean, who knows? With a lot of them, there's a very good possibility we could lose just about all of them.
And you don't know the next guy that comes in how he wants to play the defense.
And then also too, we got
Whether it would be like Fangio style or
the next guy that comes in to defensive coordinator is going to be one that I think is going to be cohesive with Mike. It's like John said, we got to wait and see.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't say anything about who's coming in because we don't even have a clue of who's coming in.
Yeah.
And there are several people that have been interviewed that have a little bit of Fangio style in them. So we got to wait and see.
Right. Yeah. There could be an announcement tomorrow, next week. I mean, let's wait and see who they hire, and then we can all do our research and see where they've coached, what they've done, and we'll see what kind of guy we got. But
good night, Eric.
Yeah.
We have no say in it. We're just fans. Be a fan.
And March free agency.
Yeah, we are
in March.
Yeah, and we are fans. We're just fans, like John said, and we have all learned to agree to disagree because very rare. It's like me and Winners. It's very rare when we agree.
Mm-hmm.
True. We didn't agree on that.
Everybody see the game. Everybody sees the Dolphins different, but the common ground is that we are Dolphin fans.
That's right.
Yes.
We are family. We are united. We are one.
So that's why I say, we celebrate them, doing well, and then, like I said, we constructively, like John Felton said, we constructively critique them when they're not, playing as good as they can play. And then we still got also realize something
there.
I mean, honestly, the last 2 years, I'm pleased with compared to what we've had the last 30 years.
Right. Well, I'm happy with the roster, the talent we have on the roster. And like I said, with Coach,
I love the talent on the roster, Mr. Polk, too. But there again, we got to see who we can keep.
Oh,
right. Exactly.
And at the beginning of the season, Chubb may not be ready. Phillips, I don't know, will be ready, right?
Phillips will be lucky to be back at the beginning of the season if he's back at the beginning.
He won't be back at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, there may be players.
You never know because at the same time, that's what everybody said about Jalen Ramsey, that he wouldn't be back before December, and he was back in November.
Yeah, that's right. Modern day medicine.
Everyone, it's modern day medicine, and everyone heals differently.
Yeah.
But Chubb, they say he'll be lucky to be back by December.
December.
And then one good thing is Andrew Van Ginkel really wants to stay with our team. So that's one good thing that we can work out.
It's his money.
Yeah,
it's what Greer can work out on a contract with him. I would hate to lose AVG because he was a hell of a player this year.
Yeah,
and I mean, if he wants to go for the money, we ain't going to be able to keep him.
Oh yeah, we got to wait for a defensive coordinator and see if he fits in the scheme.
Well,
yeah,
I don't know if we'll be able to keep Wilkinson or Wilkins.
I don't see Wilkins staying.
Yeah, and So, yeah, because they'll want top dollar, I hear.
I'll say this to everybody on this panel. As much as I want Christian Wilkins to stay here because he was drafted by the Miami Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins, right from us, and we seen him grow up in front of us, that man deserves to get paid. As an athlete, he deserves to go test the free agency market. Because everybody in this class, that positions have been paid. That young man, I would love for us to pay him, but then that's going to leave a door for a lot of holes.
Saul, I agree with you 100% on that. I agree with you, but I just don't see it with how deep we are in debt right now.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Not
the
just
debt
that.
problem.
We don't really have that many draft picks or good draft picks at that.
Correct.
Also,
Well, how many do we have? I don't even know.
We have 5 or 6 total.
We have a second. We have the first. We don't have a second. I don't know if we have a third. I think we have a fourth, 2, 6, and a seventh.
yeah, I think that's how it goes.
I think that's how it is.
Wow.
But if you guys all remember, how do people think Wilkins after?
We couldn't hear you, John.
Said if you remember after Christian Wilkins' first season, people saying he was a bust, saying he was no good, he didn't live up to his potential, and every year he got better and better and better every single year.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, one pattern I'm starting to see with our team is that when we grab these undrafted players, we're doing a good job of getting some good undrafted players.
Well,
yeah,
it's easy to say that, but you got to remember they can bring in 12, 15 undrafted guys. They get lucky, they find 1 or 2 that really fit the scheme and fit the team, but there was 12 or 13 other ones that just went by the wayside.
Yeah.
Because you got kids playing college ball, only 250 some get drafted.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of kids that want to keep playing. So if a team offers, they come into camp and they say, I'll come work out. And if they show what they can do and the team likes them, they keep them. If they don't, they're gone. And nobody even knows their name, knows where they went, what happened to them, or anything else.
You got to think right now, and that's a beautiful point you brought up, so Alan. You got to think right now with the merger of the USFL and the XFL, which is going to be a kind of a G League for the NFL, maybe. You never know. You get some players out of there. You have older NFL players, and you've had NFL players that have played, or collegiate players, undrafted free agents, or people from the Canadian Football League, or whatever have you. And you got some guys that you probably like, damn, I heard maybe I might have seen them on a practice squad or something like that. You might fall.
And they always crack me up is why does the NFL not have their own minor leagues?
Well, as of right now, I'm correct. I think that's what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and them decided to do.
That is but I actually seen a news article where there is an amateur league out there of football players hoping to be able to make it to the pros and stuff.
Yeah, but why do you look at every other sport?
I understand that. Yes, I agree with you, John.
Baseball has A, double A, triple A, then the majors. Hockey
Basketball.
People just from high school. Yeah.
College.
Well, that's basically what college football is. That's
no, it's not, John. It's college football is so different.
Every college wants to do. And you're looking at a kid going, well, he plays great here, but is he going to system and stuff?
I mean,
hit, and other times it's a total miss because they just don't fit your system. Yeah, they could be whatever.
If you really look, John, how many players out of college have failed to make it in the NFL because they just can't transition?
Yeah, that guy we picked up from Oregon, the defensive player. Y'all remember who I'm talking about? He was defensive end. Oh my goodness, I can't think of his name. He was from Oregon, and he never he was a one of our number one picks, and he did not do well on the NFL level.
Right.
And he,
They can go and still keep developing. You got to remember, a lot of these college kids are playing because they got a scholarship. Maybe their heart's not. You know, maybe they're playing just to keep their scholarship, and then when they're done with college, they're like, hey, that was great. They get drafted, and they're like, wow, I didn't expect that. It's fifth, sixth, seventh. They come into camp, they just don't have the heart for it. You had a minor league to put them into. You could see their heart before you started really paying these guys. Because you can go up and down any NFL roster. I don't care who it is. Pick a team, go through their roster, see who they drafted last year, and how many of the guys they actually kept.
Exactly. You're 100% right on that, John.
There's what, the XFL and USFL, or what they do, merge or something?
They
yeah,
merged. It's UFL
It's
now.
UFL.
UFL.
Yeah.
But
In fact, they started in March also.
What is that? University? What was that? What's the U for?
Universal Football League, if I'm correct,
Universal.
Or,
Okay.
okay.
or United Football
Or
League. One of
United.
those.
I think.
Well, maybe United. Yeah, something like that. That sounds better. But,
I think it's Universal Football League.
Oh, okay.
But how many actually come out of the XFL, USFL to make an NFL roster? It's still a better percentage.
I don't know. I think it mostly goes the other way. If they can't make it here, then they go there.
Or sometimes they go to Canada.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there's a European Football League too now. So
Oh, is there?
Sam Wake came out of the Canadian Football League when we got
Exactly. He
Yeah,
sure did.
that's right.
Because he
It's
went
also someone
from
else.
I think he went from Penn State to the Canadian football, and then we grabbed him from Canadian football.
Well, we picked him up as a Canadian football, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
It drives me nuts that the NFL just does not have their own minor league to keep developing players. Listen, some guys don't get good until they're 25, 26, 27. You're trying to judge them when they're 21.
I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, a perfect example really is look at Mostert. He had his best year ever this year.
Right, 31 years old.
Yeah.
Been in the league 8 years, and all of a sudden his 9th year is the best year he's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And he produced records.
Yeah, for us, absolutely.
And we still have him.
Yeah.
And he's not slacking off from.
And we need players like him. Like I said before, we need players like him, like Chubb, who are dogs. Because 8 out of 9 weeks, Mostert was out there playing hurt. He only missed one game out of 9 weeks playing hurt. You know, and we need people like that don't mind playing hurt. And at the same time, I look at that, and I do think the coach kept some out more than what they needed to be out.
Yeah, it was protecting them from themselves sometimes.
And that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. You know, that we don't know. You know, if they would have been in, could we have won that Titans game? You know, we don't know. The past is the past. It's done. It's over with. We need to move on to the new year. Look at what's coming up. Figure out who our coaches are going to be, because we got rid of, 4 coaches altogether.
Yeah.
So we need to get that all straight and see what's going to happen.
Yeah, the only thing about it is, you know,
Miss
that window's
Denise,
closing, but
you know,
who knows?
sorry you didn't get a chance to say goodbye, really. We appreciate you being on here, Miss Denise. You have a blessed night. Peace, love, and fins up, hon.
Fins up, Mr. Denise.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump out too, guys. I gotta be up early.
Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night, John.
Yeah.
I'm wore out. So if you want to give last goodbyes, we'll start off with you, John Featherland.
Okay. I just hope whoever we pick for a defensive coordinator gets along, is with Mike McDaniel's thinking and vice versa. And I hope we get, hope we can retain players that we need, and hope not too many go away and still have, still be okay with the cap, and hope we have a good season, coming up next year.
Okay, John. Peace, love, and fins up, brother. You have a wonderful night.
Peace, love, fins up, everybody.
Fins up, John.
You take care.
Me too.
Mr. Polk.
Well, regardless of how our season ended and where we're going, I think that I've seen teams in a similar situation become successful. So I'm going to be optimistic and say that the season coming up, regardless of coaching staff that we bring in and players, I think we're going to be successful and hopefully make it to the promised land. So I'm gonna be optimistic, regardless of what's the unknown future that's ahead of us. I'm gonna be optimistic and say we're gonna pull it out this season. So thanks for having me on the show, Paul Dolphin Winners, John O'Hanlon. I hope I'm saying your name right. It's always good to be up here with you guys, my brothers. So
We appreciate you, Mr. Polk. You have a wonderful night. God bless you. Peace, love, and fins up, brother.
All right.
John, my brother John.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off what Mr. Polk said. Always optimistic. Let's see who we get as defensive coordinator. See if some of the guys that are wavering whether they want to be there or not, then say, hey, I still want to be here. Let's work a contract out. Free agency starts in March. We'll see what happens there. Draft is in, May? So.
Yeah, I think the whole free agency bit is what scares me more than anything on who we're possibly could lose.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's guys we can lose, and there might be guys we pick up. I mean,
it is what it is.
We could be doing a show in a month, 6 weeks from now, saying, man, it sucks we lost this guy, and the next week could be doing another show saying, hey, look who we picked up.
Yeah,
it's all a wait and see game now. That's what the off season is. You know me, I'm the wait and see guy.
I know. We love you for that, John. You keep us in check.
Well, because we got no control. We're fans.
Yeah,
we don't get to sit in the front office. Ain't nobody in that front office listening to us while we're talking. And if they
why not? Damn it!
Because listen, they got a job to do. They're not worried about us. We're fans. They know it. They hear it. They see it. They get emails. They see the tweets. They know what's going on. But they got their job to do. Let them do their job and trust that hopefully they do their job well and we get to where we want to be. And we're in New Orleans next year. So
yeah, hopefully. Peace, love, and fins up, brother. We love you, man.
Take it easy, brother.
Bye.
Bye.
I mean, Paul, I think everybody said majority, mostly what we probably could say. I'm just going to basically keep it short, simple, and sweet. I want to thank everybody this evening for the comments, the likes, and tune-ins, and for everybody on this panel for joining us. Thanks to Ms. Denise Clark for coming on and joining us, and Pam Dolphin also, and Mr. Polk, and John Federline, John O'Hallen, Tom O'Gara, Ethan Steve, you're here in spirit. And also, am I missing somebody? And Tom O'Gara as well, and yourself, Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a roller coaster ride, like I say, every single solitary week. We don't know what's going to happen, but that's the thrill of the ride. We have to wonder and see. We'll all sit there and have our own opinions of things, but let it play itself out. With everything and everybody, Thank you for tuning in. Papa Paul, I appreciate you and love you, brother. You got anything else to add?
Just thank you everybody for joining us. It's great having y'all here. It's great listening to everybody's comments and questions. And right now tonight, I don't think there's nothing else to add. It's like John says, we just got to wait and see.
Right.
So with that being said, peace, love, and fins up, everybody. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.